It's 7:37 right now, and this morning in Ukraine, fighting has picked up in southern parts of the country, causing fires in multiple areas, including grain fields and villages.
And after 5 months, Russia's invasion has just had an incredible impact. By the numbers, Reuters saying there are 47,000 people who have died, 17 million refugees, and at least $600 billion in property damage to that nation.
Now, Ukrainian Americans don't want us to forget about it. And here to tell us what they're doing is Arthur Zgurov from the group Razom for Ukraine. Now, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Kirsten. Good morning, Hazel. Thank you very much for having me.
So first of all, Arthur, Razom means together, right? Can you tell us what you're doing Saturday in New York and in 12 other cities, really, to bring people together, bring more attention to the war, something we so desperately really need to do because so many people have forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. So the Razom, the organization itself, it helps people in Ukraine. It helps raising money. It helps refugees. It supplies medicine in Ukraine. And here in the United States, in New York in particular, we started our rally since the very first day, and we continue having them almost every weekend. So it's almost 6 months. And this Saturday, this is going to be a nationwide march in different cities, not only in New York, but in other cities around the country, to bring attention to the fact that war is not over and war continues, unfortunately.
And it does just go on and on. And it's hard for all of us to sort of hold that into the present eye. I know you're going to do the march, 3 o'clock, kicking off from Times Square, 12 other locations. What is it that the Ukrainian people, Ukrainian expats believe President Vladimir Putin of Russia needs or wants to do in order to stop these atrocities in your nation?
Well, first of all, he shouldn't just start this thing, but eventually, as far as we can see today from the media and from the information that we got from the battlefield, from Ukraine, from our friends who are in Ukraine, from relatives, Ukraine has stopped the invasion, and Ukrainian military are rather smart. They're pushing forward, they're doing whatever they can, but for Putin to stop that, he just simply has to take away his soldiers, but he's not doing that. That's why friends like United States, friends like Great Britain, and other allied countries, their help is immense. I mean, you can't count it.
Yeah,
and it's not only military help, but everything.
Do you have any hope at all that the end is close?
Well, you always hope for the best. You always hope that things will turn out to be as good as possible, if I can use those words talking about war. But I don't think something will be ended in several months, unfortunately. Not before autumn, not before not in the summer.
So many of those who have fled, and we know that there's an estimated 17 million refugees, many of them have also come back as well, signaling that they're not willing to give up. What is going to happen when you come back in and try to start to rebuild when you're still fighting this on so many fronts?
Well, it depends on where the battlefront will be. And you see, rebuilding right now is almost impossible due to the continuous rockets, due to continuous missile launches that Russia does, and destroying civilian infrastructure. You remember Kramatorsk, there was today, if I'm not mistaken, a trade center in Ukrainian city that is just totally horrible. So it is impossible to rebuild right now. So as I understand, rebuilding will not start massively before the war is over, unfortunately.
Yeah, Arthur,
so we will have to wait for the win.
We've unfortunately run out of time, but just quickly, we have just a few seconds. What can we do as Americans to help Ukraine?
Speak up, support Ukraine. If you can, donate, but mostly of all, please don't forget about this topic.
We intend on continuing to shine a light, and with your help, we can do that. Arthur Zgurov of Razom, thank you so much for being with us, and good luck with your march tomorrow, 12 locations around the nation, including right here in Times Square.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.